The two sides come, of course, the Brisbane Roar, led by their skipper, the 150-gamer Claire Polkinghorne, back at home here to celebrate in front of her home fans. And Adelaide United in their travelling away strip, led by Mallory Webber. Of course, no Dylan Holmes, off to Sweden. So I'm sure she's going to be missed because she's been in sensational form for the Reds this season. And for the Roar, Georgie Worth, she comes in to the starting lineup, replacing Morgan Aquino, who had a disappointing game last week, it's fair to say. And Caitlin Torpey, she comes in, and that relegates Letitia McKenna to the bench. As for Adelaide United, just the one change to the starting lineup, Emily Hodgson, she comes in, 50-gamer Emily Hodgson. Congratulations to her. Impressive effort, notching up the 50 games. Just 20 years of age as well, Emily Hodgson. And out, of course, is Dylan Holmes. As we're just about to get this crucial match underway for your Friday evening. So important for both these two teams. Important for the Roar to bounce back after a disappointing away trip to Canberra last week. And important, of course, for Adelaide United to continue this run of form, getting the victory over Sydney FC, if you don't mind, last weekend. Two sides just breaking away from their huddles. As we can hear plenty of the Roar fans, of course, in support here at Lions Stadium. Crowd slowly but surely building. Looks like we're going to have a terrific atmosphere for this evening's match. As we're just about to get things underway, it's Em Gilnick, the Roar's star player this season, over the ball. 9 goals for her. And that gives me a chance to welcome into the coverage Amy Chapman. Welcome to you, Amy.
Thank you. Very exciting evening here. You touched on this, a big occasion for Brisbane Roar, wanting to bounce back after a tough weekend away in Canberra. And Adelaide again also looking to bounce back after a pretty narrow loss to Sydney in their last encounter. So good atmosphere out here, and should be a good game.
The pitch is actually pulled up pretty well considering the amount of rain we've had here in southeast Queensland. I'll just break away from that because the ball from Polkinghorne, a searching run from Gilnick, had to be cleared away by the Adelaide defence, and it was. Throw in for the Roar. Yeah, the local NPL women's, well, the local NPL team here in Queensland actually had their training cancelled yesterday due to the rain, so it's a credit to the ground staff here to get this pitch up considering the rain. Chance for Gilnick, cleared away, only as far as Zoltan. 7 assists for her this season. Terrific return from the central midfielder. Here is Claire Polkinghorne. And how about that? 150 games, Amy. Outstanding effort. We'll be disappointed not to get the win last week, but 150 games, outstanding effort.
It really is quite incredible, and all for Brisbane Roar. I think Claire Polkinghorne is the definition of Brisbane Roar here, and she's the absolute heart of the Orange. We were discussing before how massive this feat is. When you imagine there's only 12 games in a W League season, so to accumulate 150 appearances, it's quite phenomenal. That's across an average of 12 to 13 games in a season, would give you 12 years worth of football, and I think Claire's only missed about 4 games in 12 years, which is quite phenomenal. So And she's certainly showing no signs of slowing down.
Chance here for Adelaide United going forward. Foul there on Polkinghorne it is. Right on cue. Chelsea Dorber giving the foul away. So yes, Mallory Webber, she'll wear the captain's armband tonight. I can only presume that'll also be for the rest of the season after the departing Dylan Holmes off to Sweden. We wish her all the best there. Here's Kim Carroll. That's a Rankin. There's the 50 gamer in strongly. Emily Hodgson on that occasion.
Great to see Caitlin Torpey into the starting lineup for what looks like the first time this season. She made quite an impact when she came on in late in that Canberra game, and you know, can really bring something different in attack. So it's great to see her start the game.
Could have so easily had a goal, Torpey, last week, then turned provider for Gilnick, and somehow they were able to clear it off the line. Canberra, right on cue. There is Torpey, looking to feed in Gilnick. Still, United can't get it clear. Torpey, this way, that way, back to Dalton. This game almost has a little bit of a finals feel. You can feel the intensity out there in these early stages. Here's Mallory Webber. Out wide to Condon. There's Heatley there for attention. Condon wins the throw-in. There's Rojas. Still she goes on the ball. Will think about the shot, tries the shot, but not the connection required, and comfortable for Georgina Worth into the starting lineup this evening.
It's great to see Georgie Worth back into the mix. She suffered a bit of a grade 1 to 2 medial tear in her knee, so you know, she's come back. She's had a couple of strong weeks of training, and we'll be looking forward to getting back and joining the crew. Morgan Aquino was the other one. They've been competing for spots for a while, and we're seeing Liv Chance in a good spot down here.
Ball from Gilnick. Chance across. Mariel Hecker was there. It was a tough one for Hecker to bring down over the crossbar. Adelaide wasting no time, getting on with things quickly. Freya McLaren puts her foot through it. Hodgson in there. Condon picks it up. Out wide to Webber. She's had success on this ground in almost that exact spot. Mallory Webber before. The ball back across. Huge chance. And straight to Georgie Worth. Isabel Hodgson. What about the pick out from Mallory Webber? Huge chance early on for Adelaide United.
Great little dink in behind there. It's tough to tell from this angle whether she was onside there, but again in a great position, and luckily Georgie Worth was up to the task. But you'd want to see the left back, Jamila Rankin, there, just keeping an eye on that striker. She was quite isolated.
Here's Dalton going on an attacking run. Two number 2s going at it. Torpey wins out, initially at least. Back it goes. Condon. High intensity start here at Lions. Torpey gets it again. Disappointing ball this time from Torpey. Rankin in the way. Now Dalton. Now Torpey can just reset for the Roar through Kim Carroll.
Can hear the experience of Claire Polkinghorne there, just yelling out, keep it, keep the ball. A lot of changeover of possession there in the first 5 from both teams, but really good intensity. You can see Rojas looking at every moment to try and get on the ball, and Brisbane Roar were shaky in the last game. They conceded 3 first half goals, so that's pretty unheard of for Brisbane Roar, and you'll be sure that they'll be wanting to tighten up, and Adelaide will be looking to expose them.
Polkinghorne going forward. Gilnick. Olivia Chance scored last time she was at this venue. Flag goes up for offside against Rojas. Yes, conceded 3 first half goals last week, the Brisbane Roar. In all of the games prior to that, They'd conceded just the 3 goals in the first halves prior to last week, so it was quite a shock for the Roar and the whole league watching, really. Usually so rock solid at the back. A couple of goalkeeping errors, it's fair to say as well. But they're looking to atone tonight. Ball to Gilnick, first time is brilliant. Here's Olivia Chance. Back to Gilnick it goes. Red's trying to make sure she's not allowed to turn. She gets a pretty handy ball in the end, but held by Fryer McLaren.
This is another goalkeeper back into the fray as well. Looked very strong coming out and claiming that one. A great little cross from M. Gilnick, but just didn't have anyone running across the goalkeeper there.
I can tell you the intensity already in this match is noticeably different compared to when the Roar were last on this surface against the Glory. Adelaide United mean business this season. The strike from long range not going to test Georgie Worth. The shot from Kalia Hogg. Got the assist last week, Kalia Hogg.
Kalia Hogg's great over a dead ball as well. She's certainly got the technique to take a strike from there, and there's been a few standouts for Adelaide in the past few weeks. You see their 2 centre-backs, particularly Waldes was incredible against Sydney, and you know, she'll be really looked upon to stand up again tonight.
Waldes also getting on the score sheet last week from that set piece, as Adelaide give the ball away cheaply here to Carroll. Dalton. Last time these two sides met was here at Lions Stadium. They played out a thriller, a 3-2. Eventually the Roar going away winners thanks to Hayley Rasso. Hodgson did well getting back there. Now United's turn to just reset. They got their 6th win of the season last week, which is the most that the Reds have ever had in a campaign. There's Chance tussling with a couple of the Reds players. One of them was Rojas. Chance initially fouling Rojas. Referee waved advantage. Now Heatley is looking for Torpy. Strong challenge coming in there from Carroll. Referee lets it go. Gilnick thinks about the shot. We've seen this before, but this time wide from M. Gilnick.
It's a good turn, and straight away looking up to see if it's on there from M. Gilnick. Clearly the referee has been consistent and letting a lot go. There's some really strong tackles throughout the midfield there, and even on the Adelaide striker. So good high intensity game.
And that's all you can ask for, is consistency from Isabella Blaze.
What skills for Torpy there.
Over on the right on that occasion. Now Dalton. Already looked so well set up to Adelaide United. We know the Roar have got goals in them though. 9 for M. Gilnick so far this season, looking to take out the golden boot. One more goal would make it a club record, a record that she currently holds, equaling that this season at the moment. Carroll, nice spot playing in Rankin.
Adelaide would be acutely aware of the dangers that M. Gilnick can bring. She's incredibly quick and she's a big, strong girl, making a run in behind right now.
She is right on cue. The very important header coming in there from Waldos. Otherwise, M. Gilnick's eyes were lighting up.
And that's the threat with Em Gilnick. She can show feet and she can turn you, but she's also so quick that she can get in behind. So very well defended there, and Sian McLaren looked comfortable. We saw Em Gilnick score exactly in a similar position off a free kick last week with just a little glancing header. So again, Roar will be looking to Em to step up today. She's clearly playing in that sort of number 9 position, but rotating out a little bit wider as well.
Now Carroll, disappointing ball. Here's Isabel Hodgson. Rojas allowed to turn as well, but not the service required to get past Claire Polkinghorne. Dalton to Yallop, who has been a little quieter in the last couple of weeks. She had that run of, it was probably about 4 games where she was on fire. Some of the best football I've seen her play for quite some years. But the last couple of weeks has been a little bit leaner.
Yeah, that's right. Meeks is fantastic when she can get into those pockets and get on the ball facing forward, but you can see the defences are tightening up. Adelaide are very well disciplined. They've got great structure, so I can't see Meeks having too much joy in there today without sort of making some rotation runs.
So much talk out there on the pitch, you can hear it. Yallop thinks about the shot. Ball was initially, I think, intended for Gilnick, but it'll fall to Torpy instead. Back to Gilnick, bit of space. Gilnick tries the shot. For a second, I thought that was going in. She puts her hand up. Em Gilnick thinks she was meaning the cross, but that was close.
If I know Em Gilnick well enough here, I don't think there was any cross in that. She certainly can put a bit of curl on there, and she was having a shot. I think apologising to the team that she chose to shoot, but I think you want to see Em Gilnick shooting from there, and that was certainly pretty close and keeping Sian McLaren on her toes.
Now Hodgson. Already been an intriguing battle between the two number 2s, Hodgson and Torpy. Rojas, look at that for some skill. Dalton. The Roar have had the luxury, especially when they went on that 5-game winning streak, of the opposition not really testing out the back 4, letting them play the ball around. But you can already see Adelaide, as soon as the Roar get slightly further up than where they are right now, they're having none of that, and they're well and truly pressing the 2 centre-backs and not allowing that service that we know Polkinghorne and Carroll can deliver. Now Heatley. Dalton, as the Roar are just enjoying a little spell of possession. Chance, Dalton again, Gilnick. Yallop was on far side if they could have spotted it, but they've turned it over. Here's Mallory Webber, she's on side as well. Looking to skip around Polkinghorne, but not able to do so. It'll fall for Gilnick, fortunately. He's looking for Chance, but Chance wasn't there. Ball played across, flag stays down, Hodgson's onside. Shot coming in as Rankin has a look at the assistant and says, where was the flag?
Can see Jake Goodship with his first vocal input for the evening. Did look a little offside at a glance there, but the linesman was in the right position to call that. So again, I think that's where Adelaide will have a bit of success tonight. Is Brisbane Roar like to send their fullbacks forward. They like Jamila and Winnie to get forward and support the attack, and sometimes quick turnovers, they can be exposed in those positions. So they did get exposed a little bit with Michelle Heyman's speed in the last game, so I think they will be a little more conscious of that. But certainly as Brisbane build in confidence, I think we'll see the fullbacks going further and further forward.
Jake Goodship back on the bench tonight after he missed the match against Canberra last weekend. Yallop cross smartly with the tackle is Waldos.
Yeah, great to see Jake back, and being the gaffer again. He's expecting a child any minute, so is only about 10 minutes from home here. So unfortunately any travelling interstate is not really on the cards at the moment. So exciting times for Jake on and off the field.
Rojas again has already showed plenty of trickery, plenty of danger. What about that for a turn from Condon? Here is Rojas. Just couldn't bring it down first time, because it looks like it's Winnie Heatley back there. It is. Saves the day for the Roar.
Great recovery there from Winnie Heatley. They're those spots we were talking about where Brisbane Roar can be exposed a little bit there, but that's why they have such fit, fast fullbacks. But I think Rojas, if she's going to peel off into those pockets, could have a bit of joy in there.
No goal as of yet as we close in on the 20-minute mark. Can tell you Adelaide have the second most first half goals with 10, and the Roar have the most with 12, and they might be on here. Here's Marielle Hecker, back onto her left. Hecker, still she goes, stands up, hits a shot, and it's wide from Hecker. Exciting play down the right-hand side from the Brazilian.
Very, very tricky play there from Marielle. She thought she'd done enough to get a good shot off there, but all credit to Charlotte Grant there. That defence, she'd sort of committed herself, but bounced back very quickly to ensure that Marielle could not get a balanced shot off.
Thought she was in trouble early, but able to atone. Charlotte Grant, young Matilda, of course. Here's Rankin. Roar potentially just starting to warm to the task. Dalton, that's a loose one from her, almost allowed Mallory Webber in. Fortunately, the 151 gamer, Claire Polkinghorne, was in the way. Here's Dalton, she's got time this time to assess. She'll strike it. Isabel Dalton wide of the mark. Saw her have that shot last week that rattled the woodwork. She's close to her first W League goal.
You can see Adelaide really sitting off there and allowing Dalton to be in plenty of space. There's a couple of occasions she's helping play out, and then she's moving forward and able to dribble almost into the 18-yard box. So could be a bit of a wary spot for Adelaide if they focus too much on those number 10s. They'll be able to find another free midfielder. Did want to talk about, Jared, how much is on the line today. There's a few people vying for finals. They're in a good spot here for Torpy.
Torpy just over from Caitlin Torpy.
Yeah, there's a few, potential finals, top 4 positions up for grabs. It's getting very tight at the pointy end, and just as important, the potential to have a home semi-final as well. So a lot to play for at the, the tail end of the season.
And you can well and truly feel it tonight with the intensity that both these two sides are playing at. Hodgson will do well to keep it in. She does somehow keep it in, but couldn't find Isabel Hodgson.
I think the flight path that Brisbane Roar are on was, everyone was pretty confident they were home and hosed, but a little bit of sail, wind out of the sails from last week's game against Canberra, and they'll be really looking to bounce back.
Hecker did well, found Heatley up from her defensive duties, and Waldos again in the way. And that's got to be about the third time already this evening that she's done that. Yeah, just 3 points on the live ladder, just 3 points separating second and fifth, so tight there for that top 4. Here's Hecker, she's got space, feeds in Gilnick, Gilnick strikes it, chance here again for Hecker on the follow-up. Flag stays down and the Roar go 1-0 up, thanks to their Brazilian in Marielle Hecker.
Great little combination play there from Hecker and Gilnick. Hecker was in the right spot. She created that opportunity, and of course she was there to pinch the first goal of the evening. Charles McLaren did quite well there on that initial shot. She got low but didn't quite hold on to it. So unfortunately Marielle was the first to pounce, and Adelaide have gone one down.
Initially, I thought it was a slightly disappointing shot from M. Gilnick, but Fry McLaren not able to hold on to it, and Mariel Hecker getting in the right spot at the right time to give the Roar the ascendancy in this crucial Friday night fixture. How about the turn from Charlotte Grant out wide? The Reds looking to bounce back quickly. Grant looking to take on Heatley. Heatley did well. Beautiful bit of trickery out there from the youngster Charlotte Grant.
That's the kind of response you want when you just go 1-0 down, and Charlotte Grant showing that she's got skills and a bit of speed out there, and she's willing to go forward.
Strong tussle there between Hecker and Rojas as the Roar win the throw-in. Mariel Hecker gets her third goal of the season, has well and truly made the jump from the NPL Women's League here in Queensland.
Marielle's played a few different roles for Roar. Obviously, quite happily can play on either wing. She likes to tuck in, loves to have the ball at her feet, and we see Adelaide in behind here.
Here's Dorber, the ball across. It was a good build-up, just that final ball lacking. Still a chance. Here's Grant. Headed away by Olivia Chance. Torpy did well, but Gilnick not able to keep it. Good response from the Reds, as you mentioned a moment ago, Amy.
Yeah, they're certainly happy to send some numbers forward. Rojas looks dangerous whenever she's, receiving the ball at her feet, but Brisbane Roar got back in good numbers there, and Torpy really putting her body on the line.
Well, just before that goal went in, I was saying that both these two sides have an outstanding first half record of scoring goals this season. And right on cue, the Roar have scored, but Adelaide looking to bounce back. Grant again with a bit of trickery. Here's Webber. Grant continues their run if Webber can spot it. Opts against that. He's looking for Hodgson there, but Torpy tracked back well. Now Rankin. Zoltan. Gilnick has come out to the left-hand side. Rankin's continued her run forward, the fullback. And now she's caught out of possession. Here's Hodgson. Rojas is streaming in on goal. Disappointing final ball again from Adelaide. But they are building since going down 1-0. Heatley. Webber doing well. Rojas again. Back to Mallory. Webber lost track of where the ball is, and the Reds can reset all the way back through Waldas.
You can see the field starting to give a little bit. That's obviously still quite damp from the week's rain.
Worth off her line. She did well from short. That's something that Jay Goodship will want tonight. Secure goalkeeping. Georgie Worth. Now Heatley on the ball, playing in the goal scorer, Mariel Hecker. Credit to Charlotte Grant, who's marking Mariel Hecker out on that far side. Could have dropped in confidence after her opponent scored that goal, but she's bounced back with some real positive play for Adelaide United. Now Torpy, not allowed to turn. All the way back to Worth it goes. Can hear Marushka Waldas barking instructions out there on the pitch.
It's a beautiful sight seeing Claire Polkinghorn get into a hurdling stride as an ex-Australian hurdler as well. She's got a beautiful running style and looks incredibly powerful. Here she comes now. And again, does what Claire Polkinghorn does and clears it, and straight to the other end for Brisbane Roar.
Here's Torpy. Hodgson gets a key foot in there. Now Isabel Hodgson. Emily Hodgson had the run on the right, but couldn't spot it. He's looking to feed in Dorber instead. It was a solid collision last week against Canberra that Claire Polkinghorn had. I thought at one point she was in real trouble, but as Claire Polkinghorn does, she bounced back up.
When you only miss 4 games in 12 seasons, in 12 years, it's going to take a lot to put Claire Polkinghorn down.
If you're just joining us in the pre-game, the pre-game warm-up, the Raw players were sporting a 150-game Polks shirt, and there's plenty in the crowd that are also donning the white shirt. Rojas. Here's Dorber. Almost slipping one past Carroll. Held her positioning really well. Now Gilnick.
Great little hustling from the Adelaide team there. They just need to provide a bit more support for each other. Rojas doing a lot of work, but they're not providing that next support. They need that next runner, somebody underneath to play with.
Throw in for the 50-gamer to take for Adelaide United. Just one of 4 players for Adelaide United to make it to 50 games. His chance was looking for Gilnick. Getting in the way, importantly, was McNamara. Rojas, she's already seen a lot of the ball in these early exchanges. Well, nearly half an hour gone here. Time has well and truly flown by for your Friday evening of the W League. Now Webber, back to Condon. Webber continued to run forward, but that player again, in Claire Polkinghorn, picked it off. What about the first time ball from Gilnick to Yallop? She'll get on the end of this to Mika Yallop, back to Olivia Chance. We've seen one from here before. Plays in Gilnick. Will she pull the trigger? M. Gilnick, she does pull the trigger. It's disappointing from M. Gilnick.
Great little first-time ball from Gilnick to find Tamika Yallop in behind there. But again, just some of the decision-making in the final third for Brisbane Roar. I think M. Gilnick would have liked to, potentially cut that back on her right. But Adelaide had some good numbers there. And, perhaps a bit more patience from Brisbane Roar.
She well and truly looks hungry tonight, M. Gilnick, though. Saw her in the pre-game, warming up. Look of determination on her face, as there is of plenty of these Raw players tonight after such a disappointing result last week. Here's Dorber. Hodgson is on if Rojas could have spotted, but Carroll timed that to perfection. Rankin, tough one for Torpy to chase down.
Gilnick's definitely in the kind of form that she wants to be taking out the likes of the Golden Boot. I'm sure she's putting the team first, but that might be at the back of her mind there. And we saw Michelle Heyman putting away a few more goals again this evening. So, I think for Em, she's in constantly good positions, and she scored one last week, but perhaps, could have had a few more. So she'll be very eager to get another one on the score sheet tonight.
Throw in for the Roar, right underneath our broadcast position at a very balmy Lions Stadium in the southwest of Brisbane. Perfect evening for football. Carroll's in strongly on Rojas gives away the
perhaps the first free kick we've seen all evening. It's definitely been a very free-flowing game, and even some handballs that were let go. So I think it's the first time that Isabella, the referees, had to pull that one up. A strong tackle from Kim Carroll.
And it's been enjoyable. The game being allowed to flow. Hogg scored from the set piece last week. Look to reset. Through Kalia Hogg again. Numbers have stayed forward for United. Yallop back there defending. As Hecker was looking to turn McNamara. Bit sloppy at the moment. Here's Waldas. Fresh off that goal last week. Now Yallop as the Roar stream forward. Ball slightly behind Olivia Chance. Torpy looking to counter quickly on the Roar. Rankin continued that run forward. It's a good spot, just the pass not being able to be executed. Here's Hodgson, looks to run it. Carroll, the shot coming in so close to Mallory Weather getting on the end of that, and it could have easily been 1-1.
And that's a better decision from Hodgson's there. She's squared Kim Carroll up here, seen her nice and isolated out there, and taken her on. And, you know, whether that was a cross or a shot, it's a dangerous ball inside the box and, you know, only a metre or two off. So better build-up play from Adelaide.
Well, we've seen those balls from Adelaide United be picked off so easily. So Hodgson said, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to run at the Raw defence. Here's Dorbar, strikes it. 1-1 Adelaide United. How about that goal from Chelsea Dorbar? Low and hard. And just like that, the Reds have levelled the score up.
That's a great finish there from Dorbar. She found herself off the shoulder of the Queensland back four and you know, had to really pick her spot here, keep it low and hard, and she's done exactly that. You can see her creeping off the shoulder here. Rojas was there as well, so interesting defending from Brisbane Roar, but what a finish. Low and hard, bottom corner, pretty much unsavable for Georgia Worth.
Fourth goal of the season for the 21-year-old. What a time to get it as we slowly but surely close in on half-time here at Lions. And that's the Adelaide United that we've come to expect this season. As soon as they went down, it almost sparked them into life a little bit. They did not drop their heads at all. And just like that, 1-1. Game well and truly on.
Really has felt like Adelaide have been building into this game, and their decisions in the final third and numbers that they're sending forward have just been growing and growing. So probably a deserved goal in that last 5-10 minutes.
Both these sides desperate to not have to get the victory next week. Take a little bit of pressure off by getting the 3 points tonight. Crucial match. Here's Heatley as the Roar look to get the quick reply. Not on the same page there. Straight to Fry McLaren. Headed by Carroll. Rojas is there. Rankin able to clear to Torpy. To Chance and back to Carroll now as the Roar can reset. Might have thought that they lost their captain and one of the players that's been in some sensational form this season in Dylan Holmes. You might have thought that the Reds might have come out a little bit slow, but they're well and truly up for this contest.
Yeah, disappointing for Adelaide to lose Holmes. She's certainly an asset for them, but she's obviously seen an opportunity to go over to Sweden, and it's quite tricky with the transfer windows when you've got to sign and you've got to go quite early, and it often forces you to miss the remainder of the season. So good opportunity for other players in Adelaide to step up, and we're seeing that happen.
We saw on social media the last game that United played as she said a speech, Dylan Holmes, after the match, and then all the players went over and mugged her and put her to ground. Almost looked like she was injured after that. But off to Sweden she goes. Here's Rankin. Yallop coming out on this near side momentarily at least. Skilnick, first time ball, again from Rankin. Dalton sliding in, doing well. Now Heatley. Can that goal from United spark the Roar into action? Disappointing from Dalton, gives it away cheaply.
You can see this Adelaide team are a very tight-knit group. They're incredibly disciplined in defence, and they're really working hard in defence as well, which is that they're quite hard to break down. They've got a pretty good little block there of 4, and then another one dropping in to be on the number 10s there. So you can see Brisbane Roar getting a little frustrated, but very well disciplined from Adelaide.
Healthy crowd in here at Lions Stadium, trying to make their voice heard for the home side. As we close in on an entertaining first half, it's already been. Nutmeg from Hogg is nice. Here's Rojas, got a bit of space if she can turn. Dorber had to backtrack a little bit, and that almost stopped the move in the end. They look dangerous though on the counter. Rojas. Back to Dorber. Already has one. Thinks about pulling the trigger. Good tackle coming in there, but it'll fall to Rojas. She looks to get around Carroll. This way, that way, Rojas. Ball back across. Corner for the Reds.
Can see the Reds building in confidence here as it leads into the final minutes of the first half. It seems to be a game of Brisbane Roar building up nice and slowly and trying to be patient and not get too frustrated, but then the quick turnover sees Adelaide get right in behind and have created some good quick opportunities for themselves.
They scored from the corner last week, the Reds, looking to do it again. Delivery about to come in from Hogg. In it goes. There's the header. Chance. Rojas, the flag eventually goes up. Well, it was that combination again. Hogg to Waldas. That's what got them the opener against Sydney FC last week. Able to find the head of Waldas there, but wide of the mark, and eventually Rojas flag for offside.
Adelaide have had some great success off set pieces this year, but again have also been quite exposed. They were exposed on 2 corners against Sydney in their most recent match, which saw them, concede 2 goals. And when you've got the big, tall, strong players like Waldas back there, that's quite disappointing. And I'm sure it's something that Adelaide coach has been focusing on.
Now Grant. Ball intercepted by Dalton. This has all the makings of being one of those games in the Westfield W League. We've already seen an epic game there over in the West. And this has all the makings of being something special tonight. Carroll, nice spot to find Torpy. Rankin, what about that for a first-time ball? And Yallop is away. Tamika Yallop, forward she goes. She goes into the box. She could have gone down. The ball across. Well, if she had gone down, it might have been a penalty. Here's Chance. And eventually the Reds get it clear, and I think they got away with one there.
I think they might have. Yallop definitely could have played that one up a little, but she was certainly off balance, but managed to keep her balance there. But, we're never too sure. The ref hasn't pulled out her whistle too many times this game. So, kudos to Mix for continuing on there, but probably could have milked that one.
Here she is, Yallop. Gilnick able to get the first touch, but then dispossessed. Layoff from Dalton to Torpy, now Hecker. Better from the Roar. In it goes from Hecker, was looking for the goal-scoring machine in M. Gilnick. Torpy. We'll get it again. Plenty of instructions from the Adelaide United bench as they're desperate to keep the score the same as we go into half-time. Headed away. Here's Olivia Chance. She strikes it. Scored a goal only a couple of weeks ago from that end.
Can hit them, Olivia, but, you know, I think she could have even taken a touch there. She had plenty of time. Great little run from Meeks down here. I think she could have played that up a little bit, but again, so I think when the Brisbane Roar need a little bit more movement up front here. That's becoming a bit static, obviously fatiguing a little bit in the final minutes, but a little bit more movement would move their defence a bit more.
Yallop has lifted as we close in on half-time. Ball too much on it, it'll skid off this Lions Stadium surface. Now Carroll is slight lull over Lions Stadium. Gilnick, Yallop again, just getting heavily involved at the moment. Tamika Yallop seems to be everywhere. She'll get it again from Gilnick. Does well. Still she goes, Yallop. Still she stays on her feet. Now Polkinghorn. Nice spot. First time ball from Torpy was so close, but Hodgson did really well. Otherwise, M. Gilnick was in.
Definitely Yallop getting more and more involved in these final 10 minutes, but the work rate from Adelaide in defence has been incredible. That giving Brisbane Roar barely any breathing room at all. Pretty good first half from the Adelaide Reds.
Too much on it from Dalton, as Grant can go out and take the throw in for the Reds. So we're just about to see how much added time we'll have in this first half.
Been a pretty even first 45 out here. It's certainly created chances for both, as we see 1 minute of extra time being added on there. Be interesting to see going into half-time. There's Claire Polkinghorn doing one of her magic runs.
Here's Polkinghorn. Here's Gilnick. Blocked by McNamara initially. Cleared away by Waldas. Can the Roar pinch one before the break? Hecker. Already got one. Now Gilnick. Back to Heatley. Can the Reds pinch one potentially on a break? Back to Polkinghorn. Well and truly has been an even first half, as you mentioned, Amy. 1-1, a fair reflection on the first half. Punched away by Fryer McLaren. Rankin with the header. Now the Reds look to break. Dorber. Hodgson was screaming for the ball on this near side. Opted against that, and that is the end of a very entertaining first half here at Lions Stadium. The opener from Mariel Hecker was replied with a sensational strike from Chelsea Dorber. At half-time here at Lions Stadium, it's Brisbane 1, Adelaide 1.
To get another one on the score sheet tonight.
Throw in for the Roar right under so easily. So Hodgson's